What is up, guys? Your boy Mike and Mike here, and in today's video, guys, yes, today's video, guys, let me move this in real quick. We will be doing a reaction video on Keira Lhotan. She is someone I've been watching for a while. Uh, Keira Lhotan, Keira. She gets really mad when people mispronounce her name. I'm not even sure how to pronounce it correctly. It's not Kira or Kiera. It's Keira, 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 something like that. Whatever. She's cool. She's alright. She's from Florida. Just a regular vlogger, talker, whatever. I agree with a lot of some of the things she says. I don't agree with a lot of things she says. Half the time I think she's yapping, but this video seems really interesting, so I was like, why not give it a reaction? Raw reaction of what I think she is going to talk about, and give you an analysis of my opinion and whether or not I do like what she spoke in the video. So with that being said, let's start off with what I think she's going to talk about. So the title is "It's difficult to be simple." It's difficult to be simple. I believe she's going to talk about life being simple, but hard. And so life is hard, but it's simple. It's not easy. And so this kind of reminds me of a quote from Confucius that goes, and I googled it just so I can be ready. Life is simple, but we insist on making it complicated. Which, for me, basically means that we kind of tend to overthink, overreact. We tend to get ourselves in the way of things. I guess it's the easiest way of saying it. And when we're trying to achieve a goal, usually what is stopping us from getting there is ourselves. And so once you clear your mind, you clear the path to having a simple lifestyle. So with that being said, now I'll start watching the video and let's see what she has to say.
If you think about it, life is so simple. It is simply eating, sleeping.
With I just remembered I'm gonna need to increase that audio. All right.
And pooping. It's survival.
All right. So she started. I had to increase the audio on the video, and let's give it a go.
If you think about it, life is so simple. It is simply eating, sleeping, and pooping. It's survival. And we've overcomplicated it. Forget about a healthy body. We need a healthy mind to have a healthy body. And overcomplicating the most simplest of things creates brain fog. Okay, like we create brain fog because of our curiosities, because we want to challenge everything. Have you ever heard of don't fix it unless it's broken? Don't fix something that's not broken? Yeah, that's what we tried to do. We tried to fix life, but it was never broken. Life is just life. Life is going to carry on with or without you, right? But it's all about the mindset. Like, how clean is your thinking? When you wake up every day, when you wake up every day, do you think clear? Like, so clean. Everything makes sense. Everything is so simple. You just know what to do. You know where to get it. You know how to do it. It's simple. You're not overcomplicating it. Personally, I overcomplicate things. I do. When I think of, for example, protein intake, for getting gains in the gym, that alone, that alone is overcomplicated. Not just with me, but with a lot of people because we want to be better. We want to feel like, the best version of ourselves. So we feel like we need the best of the best.
So that right there, I agree with. Um, she basically gives us the example that trying to trying so hard to be the best version of ourselves and better than others is already a more than complicated process than it needs to be, if that makes sense. We're just doing that, just thinking about that already is complicated. You're already over complicating things for no reason. And the example she gave with the gym and the proteins is technically you don't need it, right? We don't need to uh, take protein in the morning, in the afternoon, at night. Just take protein daily, just to go to the gym. Um, Vitamins, all this other stuff, right? We're just overcomplicating it because we're trying to feel better. We're trying to be better when all you have to do is go to the gym, right? So in that example, what is simple is creating a habit of going to the gym. What is overcomplicated is making a protein shake to go to the gym to feel better of going to the gym, feel stronger, and that just kind of overcomplicated everything. So let's just continue on.
Right? We need the best protein. We need the best recipes, the best flavors, the best ingredients, like the best. When it could be so simple.
You could just get beef. Okay,
The best
there we go. You can just get beef, right? You don't need the best beef. You don't need the best ingredient. You just need something in your body. Technically, that is a simple answer, right? Not the healthiest, but the simplest. We just need something simple.
ingredients come from the ground. The best ingredients have dirt on them. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? We overcomplicate the most easiest, simplest things in our lives. Even a career, right? When we're kids, we think about, oh, I want to be this when I grow up. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a scientist, overcomplicating already as a kid, overcomplicating life when it's so simple. It's so simple. And
Yeah, and just kind of stopping her real quick and sharing another thought. Um, yeah, when I was a kid, I never wanted to be a scientist. I've always wanted to be a cop. Um, Overcomplicating things, as she said. But the simple answer to that is a kid always being curious, right? That's exactly why I am where I'm at today because I was always curious. I'm bored. I'm bored. I'm curious and spontaneous. Exactly where exactly where I'm at today. I'm at today. Why I am who I am today. That is a simple answer. And the complicated answer is I want to be a police officer. I want to be a scientist. Research whatever. Uh, no, right? Just if you want to be a neurologist, for example. Okay, cool, right? I want to be a neurologist. You can say that. But what do neurologists really do? I mean, kind of that's kind of a general field, but they do a lot of things. They do a lot of research. They may work with their hands a lot. They may do a lot of things, but one of them is research. So, can you really stay on the computer, behind a computer, behind papers for 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day, 14 hours a day? I don't know. Only you have to answer that question. So, in other words, they are readers and masters at comprehension. That is the simple answer of being a neurologist.
You know who said this quote? How difficult it is to be simple? Vincent van Gogh, an artist, someone who challenges the concept of perfection. Perfection doesn't come from complicating everything, it comes from understanding the most simplest of foundations. Like the most simplest of foundation is life, survival. And I feel like if we embraced it more, if we embraced the simplest desires, the simplest, everything that is so simple about being a human, which is just waking up in the morning, thinking clearly, thinking about what you want to do next, not what you want to do for the whole day. Because guess what? That's overcomplicating. I mean, no. If you have a whole schedule for the whole day, but you're not doing it, it's just in your head, you are giving yourself brain fog. There are more chances that you're not going to get everything done in your day just because you're overcomplicating yourself from the moment you wake up.
And that's a fact. I do agree with that as well, with that statement as well. I That happens to me all the time. The night before, knowing that I have a very hectic day the next day, I schedule. I don't schedule things out, but I schedule things out, but I have a list of things um, that I'm gonna do the next day. And as soon as I wake up, I start tackling the list. And by the end of the day, I have done half or most, but not all. Never all. It's never that I finish all of it until I realized that once I stopped pressuring myself and writing this list and trying to be perfect, if I have a eventful day the day after, or an emotional day because I'm super excited sometimes, and I know that whatever I'm going to Disney World, whatever it is, graduation or something, I tend to, especially the good emotions, I tend to let them get in the way. Instead of doing that, or instead of being pressured, right, and trying to be perfect and try to tackle everything together, I just let it be. I just wake up at whatever time I wake up. Sometimes I need to wake up earlier, so I just wake up earlier and I just let it be. Right? I just start from there. If I ate breakfast or I didn't eat breakfast, I don't care. And I noticed that by doing that and by focusing on spontaneity, right? Or I guess not focusing on that, but by allowing myself to be spontaneous, compulsive, I realized that I actually can, and I always do everything. So that's just something to think about. Give it a try.
The biggest, okay, I don't want to say it's a flex because saying anything is a flex is pretty, I mean, it's objective, right? But I think waking up with a clear mind is the best way to live. Who wakes up with a clear mind? Who wakes up with an intention so simple, a simple intention for not even the day, but for the first thing you do? I personally don't think we should be thinking ahead of ourselves. We think ahead of ourselves so much. Like, I just think of the billionaires, people with power, people with money. They think ahead of themselves, overcomplicating life. Think about how much power someone can really have with money. You can simplify your life. You can choose to simplify your life, but you can't. You simply cannot simplify your life when you have overcomplicated it so much. Billionaires are so attached to everything, right?
I believe anybody can simplify themselves, whether you're poor or you're rich, literally by letting everything go. That is how you simplify your life. In one day after another. Just let it go. Everything. easier than it sounds, but it's simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. Let's continue.
Right? You have to get to the billionaire position somehow, right? And it's not simple. It's not simple. Being a farmer is a simple job. I'm not saying it's simple as in like challenging and easy. No, I'm saying simple as in it makes sense. It's pretty linear. You grow crops, you have cattle, you maintain it, you sell your crops and cattle. Like it's a linear job.
You can also exponential it by multiplying the amount of people, the amount of land, the amount of water, the amount of resources. So, is it really a linear job? That's how billionaires become billionaires. They solve problems faster than others in creative ways, and that allows them to essentially redefine the word linear. So, I don't necessarily agree with this statement. Let's continue.
Whereas being this money tycoon, being a billionaire is so complicated. It's so, you don't even know how you're getting there. But once you're there, you've overcomplicated every aspect. You're not healthy. You're not. You can look healthy, but when you wake up in the morning, you're like, you have to meditate. You have to put in the hard work and effort to clean your mind. I said in a video, health is wealth. It really is. Like, forget about being a billionaire, forget about having the house, the car, everything that you want that is material. If you're not waking up with a clean, clear conscious and mind and thinking, what is it worth?
Before she continues on to this topic, I want to go back to the last topic real quick, where she states that when a billionaire wakes up, they have already, or when they become a billionaire, they have already overcomplicated their life so much that they have to work so much harder to meditate to clear their mind. I think that's such a false statement. I mean, right? They have, when you're a billionaire, you have time. Right? I mean, think about it. When you have more money, it's a simple equation, right? It's simple. And I'm not going to think about the equation right now, but money and time are, I wouldn't say a direct relationship, but the more money you have, the more time you have for yourself and your family. Because the more money you have, the more leverage you have. The less things you have to do, the more creative you become. It's exactly why AI is going to be such a powerful tool in the next few years, because people will have more time to be doctors and less time doing paperwork and dealing with people and just dealing with the nuances. AI will take care of that. Don't worry about that. You want a quick office manager for your medical hospital office, dental office? Cool. Have AI do that. As soon as a person is going to come in, automatically scheduled, automatically uh, already did the whole cleanup and everything, or the whole session. The doctor's just going to come in, 5-10 seconds, verify everything was done, and be out, because the doctor will have more time, more leveraging tools, AI, people, and so I think she's absolutely wrong. Um, and she just has this stigmatism of rich people abusing what they have, which I'm not saying not it doesn't happen, but she is very focused on a small group of people and not being authentic of what she's saying.
What is it worth? It was worth that. Think about it. It's worth your healthy mind. And that's even more, it's harder to have a like healthy mind in 2025 than to have a healthy body.
Okay, fact. It is harder to have a healthy mind than a healthy body. Why? I'm curious why she thinks that. I agree because, well, I'm gonna give you one simple reason: social media, right? Comparisons, keeping up with the Joneses. I can go on, but just keeping it with social media. I mean, why are we even on Facebook, Instagram, etc., overcomplicating our lives when we could just be sleeping, watching a movie, or just simply relaxing, which is not something, not everybody can do, including myself. And so I do agree with that statement very much. Uh, Also, because people tend to go take the easy route, and it is easier to have. So what I mean by that is, it is easier to have a physical body, a healthier physical body, because it's physical, something we can see, touch, feel. And when you are comparing with other people, you are comparing body, comparing whether that person is attractive or not. You want to be like that person. So you join a gym, you join a group of people, and they all do the same exact thing. Go to the gym, maybe for the same exact reasons. Others vary, but most likely the same reason. But when it comes to the mind, you don't see that. You don't think about that. It's easier to hide. It's easier to not worry about it. It's easier to drink and forget about it. It's easier to smoke. It's easier to do deal with other coping mechanisms than it is to sit down and talk about it. Simple, which is something very simple, right? It's much simpler than going to the gym. They're both simple, right? You just wake up and go to the gym. But talking is something we already do as human beings. We already talk. Now you have social anxiety, you can talk to yourself, you can read, you can write. Very simple things that is much simpler than going to the gym. Understood? And so I do agree with that statement, but I'm interested in why she has to say that and why she said that.
And we're humans, right? I mean, we are animals, but we have cognitive brains. We have frontal lobes. We have a hippocampus. We have things in our brains that allow us to have visions, thoughts. We can actually get jobs done, do things we want to do. But if we're waking up with an unhealthy mind, we are just setting ourselves back, overcomplicating everything.
Just like how she overcomplicated that statement. All she had to say was, we're humans with a mind to be creative, right? That's all.
And it's so it's so simple to be difficult. It's so simple to wake up and have excuses, justify things, to wake up and tell yourself, "Oh, I don't want to go get dressed or something. I don't want to go to the gym. Like I don't want to do this." Like just overcomplicating. I don't
So she doesn't know what the meaning of simple really is. There's a difference between simple and easy. It is easy to choose easy things to do. It's easy to choose to not go to the gym. It's easy to choose to sleep more. It's easy, is what she means and what she is trying to say. It is simple to go to the gym. It's simple to do things and it's simple to get things done, but it's not easy. It's hard. It's difficult. I think she's a little confused in her terms and not using it as she should.
Overcomplicating comes from repetitive challenging of the mind. Like, you think you can do better than what you really want. You can't. You will sell yourself short. You will sell your your mind short. And I think the billionaires are a really good example of this because you don't know what you have until it's gone, right? And I think that a lot of us have always wanted to be rich, have money. You know, we look up to these very established and wealthy people. How are they living? You know, I think about how they live and it can't be simple. It cannot be. And I'm not even trying to project here. I'm not even trying to judge. It's like if it's there, I'm going to take it for how it is. Like I like to learn from other people. I don't want to learn from my own mistakes. Like I make my own mistakes on my own, but I don't need to be a billionaire to figure this out. You know what I mean? I don't need to lose it all to figure it out. And I think that being simple is the best way to clean your mind, to clean your thinking. You know, stop thinking too over, like you're overly analyzing yourself. Like you're
That's kind of ironic because she started thinking too much in that statement right there. Um, I don't really agree with her. I think you should think as much as you want. It's a choice. Think as hard as you can. Think as hard as you want. As little as you want. Right? Um, just don't let yourself in the way. Don't let yourself get in the way. It's good to think. Become a thinker. I'm a thinker. I think a lot. But I live a very simple life. Think about it.
too much. And I just think that being simple is the way to go. I want to live a more simple life. I don't want to overcomplicate my life anymore. I don't want to feel like I'm waking up with brain fog. It's so easy to be difficult, but it's simple. Wait, yes, it's so simple to be difficult, but it's difficult to be simple.
It's so simple to be difficult, but it's difficult to be simple. It's so simple to be difficult. Let's start with that. It's so simple. Okay, I understand what she means. It's so simple to be difficult, but it's difficult to be simple. I understand what she means. We'll try to rephrase that in a much simpler manner because that was complicated right there. That was already difficult. It's simple to be. I think what she means by that. It's simple to be difficult means that it's easier to choose to take the easy way out, right? It's easier to take the easy way out. It's easier to not do things than to do things. And it's difficult to be simple. What she means is that we're so overly complicated, overly complicating our lives styles, our thinking, way of speaking that it's kind of hard for us to just chill. I guess in a very millennial term. It's difficult for us to chill, but it's simple to be difficult. It's easy to choose the easy path, right? It's easy to not do things, and it's difficult to be chill. It's a much easier way for me to understand what she just said, which was a very complicated statement and took too much time for me to think about. Let's
Hence
continue.
the whiteboard. But that's all I really wanted to say today. I wanted to give some inspiration, give some motivation, because you don't need to wake up with a full spectrum of what you got to do every day. You don't. I think that's the most unhealthy way to think. Like, yes, you can have a schedule, you can have a routine, but you should be thinking about what you're doing in that very moment, every time. Like right now, I could easily be thinking about, oh, what am I going to do at the gym? Oh my gosh, what am I going to eat for lunch? What am I going to do? I'm taking it away from this. I'm taking the simple thought of talking and recording on this video and putting it into a complicated, like, we create brain fog. Like, humans are the perfect recipe for brain fog. Like, we do it to ourselves. We used to live such simple lives. Oh my gosh, this is the last thing I'm going to say. But even being a woman, I love self-care. I love moisturizing. I love, putting things in my face. Even that is overcomplicated. Okay. Like I look at the history of women and
Yeah, I had a feeling she was gonna just for the rest of the video. But yeah, that's my take on it's difficult to be simple. Hope I allowed you guys to think a little more on yourself and reflect that life is simple, but we insist on making it complicated. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's been Mike and Mike. Peace out.